I don't want to see you no more, unless it's for something different, you know. But only time I want to see your people, I want to see your family. I want your car to be fixed. I don't want to be, oh man, the ball joint that you put on, it done broke.
Welcome to American Trade. I'm Wyndham Ratchford, and on American Trade, we share the stories of entrepreneurs and small business owners. There are so many amazing small businesses out there, but so very little we know about how they actually work or how they got started. From large companies to your favorite bakery in town, they all have a story, and together we're going to meet the interesting people behind those businesses, and we're going to find out how they do it and what motivates them. I promise this program is for you. For our very first show, I had the opportunity to sit down with an entrepreneur and friend who was building an automotive repair empire from the ground up. Let's take a listen and see what I had a chance to learn from Antoine L. Dunklin, founder of D&M Auto Magic.
My name is Antoine L. Dunklin L. I own D&M Auto Magic. It stands for Dunklin and McKnight. My last name Dunklin, and my father's name is last name is McKnight, and we started it together. Yeah.
And tell me about the services that you guys offer the products.
Okay, yep, it's automotive repair. I do suspensions. I can do engine swaps, transmission swaps. I do body work, welding. This is what a typical shop is going to look like. I bring, different parts over here if I need to. Take some things apart. I have a vise I install on the table. Gets cold in the wintertime, so I got my heater here. I have a variety of screws and bolts. When bolts break or need to be cut, sometimes you have to replace them, and you got to know what size they are and picture different things. This is my welding machine. Cars break down, and sometimes exhausts break. Rust causes things to break down, and they need to be, grinded and repaired via welding. Anyone that lives in Cleveland, when you're driving in salt, when they salt the streets, those things get up under your car, man, and they just go to town on the metal and stuff, man. And so you have a lot of rust and breakdown of the metal components underneath the car. Those things wear and need to be replaced over time. So
that rust will just leave you with a steering wheel and a set of tires. You come out one day.
That's it, man. That's it, man. Your foot might go right through the floor, bro. Yes, it's that bad. I'm actually putting a floor side paneling on a truck on an F-250, and so we had to do some welding and cutting of pieces to remove the rust.
Right now, how do customers find you?
So right now it's just kind of word of mouth. When did the check engine light come on?
Check engine light been on, to be honest, over a month.
Oh, but it wasn't on when I had it.
No, well, it was on when you had it.
It was? Okay.
It was.
Okay. That's so cool. I'm gonna hook this up real quick.
Okay.
When you do a job for somebody, and it's a good job and they're satisfied with it, first thing that people want to do and they like to do is they like to be the plug. They like to be the person that can provide something, or they have access to something or exclusive access to something. So, I have a mechanic that do pretty good work. As long as it's breathing right, it's gonna run. When it's not breathing right, that's when you have a problem. My success is literally based on the service that I provide. When you do good work for people, man, they rock with you, and then they become the plug to plug you in to other people. You know what I'm saying? And those are the type of relationships that I want. I don't want to see you no more, unless it's for something different, But only time I want to see your people. I want to see your family. I want your car to be fixed. I don't want to be, oh man, the ball joint that you put on, it done broke.
Where did you develop your love for, automotive, for cars, and then of course, getting into repairing them? Where did that come from?
Actually, man, just doing it myself. You and I both know, man, if you want something done right, man, sometimes you gotta do it yourself. And doing my own maintenance was something that I always did. This is an intake on an Explorer. Just gotta clean it up and mount it back on the motor. That a motor I installed on an O2 Explorer. I grew up with my grandfather, and he knew how to work on automobiles, motorcycles, home improvement, plumbing, electrical work. Growing up with him, I would go with him on jobs, that he did, and he was self-employed. That's pretty much where I learned to be self-employed. It was him. He was just working, he was like a handyman. But there was a demand for him to do those things. And then on my father's side, which my grandfather is my mother's father, on my father's side, we had, my uncles had a shop, McKnight Brothers Welding, over on Lee and Miles. And that place has been around since the 70s. And I would go there when I was younger and see them working on things, and just had a love for it. Started working on my own cars, trucks, motorcycles, and I like doing it. This is a vehicle somebody sold me for $500, and the frame was bent. And so I could have junked the car, but I know I have one of my customers that needs a car, and I purchased the subframe that is bent off another car from the salvage yard, and all I got to do is jack it up, bring that subframe down, and put that one on there. And now the car is going to be functional. And now I can sell that vehicle probably for $1,500 to $1,800. This was that subframe that I was talking about for that Kia Optima, and I got to take the control arms off and all these other components. The rack and pinion I'll probably take off because it's cracked. But the point that I'm trying to make is sometimes when you have the tools as far as sockets and ratchets to remove things, they're so rusted that the metal is almost fused together. And a lot of times if it's cold and you're trying to crank down on it and loosen it up, it's not going to budge. And you have to get this metal extremely hot to, allow it to move. And what I wanted to do is a demonstration on what I use my acetylene torches for. Normally would have took me 20 minutes. There it is. I don't need that, but I can maybe reuse that nut. At the age of probably about 35, I figured out how to monetize it. I just started fixing people's stuff here and there while I was working my primary job. Most recently, I was working for Honeywell. And I was an electrical engineer for that company who did tech support for HVAC techs and electricians. And I would literally help them install equipment over the phone when they needed support. I was a problem solver. It's pretty daunting, man, but I was good at it.
So you're like a magician. You didn't say, but I'm going to say a magician. Jack of all trades.
Man, I'm telling you, man, it was crazy.
A corporate handyman.
Man, I mean, it was crazy. Once COVID hit and a lot of businesses had to reevaluate their business model, my company in particular, they moved a lot of work to Mexico. And even when people were working remote, I was lowest on the totem pole. So I did get laid off and had to figure something else out. I am a veteran, and so I was receiving some assistance, but I was not in a rush to go back to work for another company. And I had applied to some other companies, worst case scenario, things don't work out of my business. But I knew what I was worth and what I could do. And nobody's gonna pay me what I think I'm worth. They're gonna pay me what they think I'm worth. That was when I decided, man, I'm about to make this, I'm about to do this for real.
And you should tell my buddy maybe you thinking maybe Saturday?
Yeah, tell him give me a call, and just so I have in my mind, I can create, a schedule, because it's either feast or famine, man. I made the LLC, set up the tax ID, set up the business relationships with the other vendors, Advance, O'Reilly's, AutoZone, even these salvage yards where I can get used parts and get, commercial discounts with them to, pass that on to the customer. So I really started setting up the business. It's definitely daunting. It's scared to have to provide, your own clientele. You gotta go out there, you gotta sell, you gotta do the job and be responsible for the job and front the money. Honeywell paid for me to have a laptop. Well, I need a laptop and I gotta service that laptop. So I gotta do, buy the software. I have to be the company. And so that's scary at first, but I'm like, I gotta try it because there's other people that's out here doing it. I am Antoine Dunklin, the owner of D&M Auto Magic, and I am American Trade.
If you like this, please make sure to like and subscribe. And please don't forget to share with at least 6 people.